Welcome to a dusty, sun-scorched journey across the Mexican border, where the wind carries the sound of spurs, ticking pocket watches, and the sharp crack of gunfire. The legendary cast of For a Few Dollars More, 1965, bounty hunters, bandits, and the birth of the spaghetti western legend. This is not merely a film. This is the movie that truly birthed an entire genre, the spaghetti western, and elevated the name Sergio Leone to immortal status in world cinema. Premiered in Italy on December 18, 1965, and reaching American theaters in late 1967. For a Few Dollars More is the second chapter of Leone's legendary dollar trilogy, following A Fistful of Dollars 1964 and paving the way for the monumental The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 1966. The story follows two bounty hunters, one cold and calculating, the other refined and vengeful, as they hunt the savage bank robber El Indio and his gang. For a fortune of $200,000, the film delivers some of the most iconic shootouts in cinema history, extreme close-ups on eyes filled with menace, and Ennio Morricone's unforgettable score, a symphony of ticking watches, whistling, gunshots, and electric guitar that feels like the heartbeat of the desert itself. Made on a modest budget of roughly $600,000, Leone created an entire universe of lawless frontier, where justice is measured in dollars and revenge is the only currency that matters. The movie was a massive success across Europe and played a crucial role in transforming Clint Eastwood, who was initially paid just $50,000, into a global icon. But the true soul of For a Few Dollars More lies in its cast, the perfect fusion of Hollywood stars, weathered Italian faces, and unforgettable supporting players. In the video, we'll journey through the most prominent actors in the order they appear in the cast list, their names, ages in 1965, roles, major awards, career highlights, behind-the-scenes stories, and their lasting legacy as of 2026. So saddle up, listen for the ticking clock, and let's begin the bounty hunt. We start with the man without a name, the one who changed cinema forever, Clint Eastwood. Born May 31, 1930, in 1965, 35 years old as of 2026, 95 years old. Still living role, Monko, the silent, cold-blooded bounty hunter, sharp-witted, economical with words, lethal with actions, the man who gave the world the archetype, the man with no name. Major awards, no major awards for this film, but later received 5 Oscar nominations, director and actor. For Golden Globes, honorary Oscar 2000, Effie Life Achievement Award 1995. Career, from supporting roles in the TV series Rawhide 1959 to 1965, Leone turned him into a worldwide legend with the Dollar Trilogy, followed by Dirty Harry 1971, Unforgiven 199 for Oscars, $1 Million Baby to for Oscars. Directed more than 40 films, widely regarded as one of the greatest living American filmmakers. Behind the scenes 1965, Eastwood accepted the role for $50,000, a modest fee compared to his later paydays. He brought his own worn clothes from Rawhide, personally chose the poncho and cigarillo, and created an immortal silhouette. Leone instructed him to act with the absolute minimum of facial expression, and that restraint became the key to the character's mythic power. Legacy 2026, at 95 years old, Clint Eastwood remains the living symbol of the American Western. The man with no name has become the blueprint for every anti-hero that followed. Leave Cleef, January 9, 1925, died December 16, 1989, in 1965, 40 years old. Role, Colonel Douglas Mortimer, the mysterious, elegant bounty hunter carrying a painful past, whose final duel with Monko is one of cinema's most iconic showdowns. Major awards, no major awards, but universally regarded as the king of spaghetti western villains. Career, hundreds of small villain roles in Hollywood before Leone, High Noon 1952, The Big Combo 1955. After For a Few Dollars More and The Good, The Bad, and the Ugly, he became a major star in Europe, starring in dozens of spaghetti westerns. Behind the scenes, Van Cleef had been considered finished in Hollywood due to age and his angular, scarred face. Leone saw in him the perfect Mortimer, aristocratic, cold, deeply haunted. The final three-way duel, Manco versus Mortimer versus Groggy, is considered one of the most beautifully choreographed shootouts in film history. Legacy: died in 1989 from heart disease, but Lee Van Cleef's face, voice, and presence remain one of the most enduring icons of the spaghetti western genre. Gian Maria Volonté, April 9, 1933, died December 6, 1994, in 1965, 32 years. Old role: El Indio, the Indian, the psychopathic, sadistic bandit leader obsessed with his past and the ticking pocket watch that drives his madness. Major awards: to David di Donatello Awards, Italy's highest film honor. Widely regarded as one of Europe's greatest actors of the 20th century. Career: major star of Italian cinema. Appeared in more than 50 films. Renowned for complex villains and dramatic roles, Sacco and Vanzetti 1971. Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion 1970. Behind the scenes, Volonté gave El Indio a rare psychological depth, terrifying yet tragically broken. Leone deeply admired his ability. The scene of El Indio listening to the watch and laughing maniacally has become one of the most quoted and imitated moments in Western history. Legacy: died in 1994 of heart failure. Volonté is considered one of Europe's finest actors ever, and El Indio remains one of the most unforgettable villains in the history of the Western. Luigi Pastillaburn, July 28, 1929, died June 21, 1995, in 1965, 36 years. Old role: Groggy, a cunning, brutal member of El Indio's gang who confronts Mortimer in a tense, three-way standoff. Major awards: no major awards, but highly respected in Italian cinema circles. Career: frequently cast as a villain in spaghetti westerns The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 1966. Death Rides a Horse 1967. Behind the scenes, Pistilli brought a terrifying, yet intelligent menace to Groggy. The three-way duel scene, Manco, Mortimer, Groggy, is considered one of the most perfectly staged shootouts in film history. Legacy: died by suicide in 1995. Pistilli remains remembered as one of the finest villain faces of the Leone era. Klaus Kinskiburn, October 18, 1926, died November 23, 1991, in 1965, 39 years. Old role: Juan Wild, the Hunchback, a vengeful, deformed member of El Indio's gang. Major awards: no major awards, but widely considered one of the most brilliant and volatile actors in film history. Career: more than 130 films. Immortalized in Werner Herzog's masterpieces Aguirre 1972, Fitzcarraldo 1982, and numerous Italian horror and Western films. Behind the scenes, Kinski had only a small role, but his twisted, grotesque face and manic energy left an indelible mark. Known for being extremely difficult on set, Leone knew exactly how to channel his intensity. Legacy: died in 1991 of heart failure. Kinski is the ultimate symbol of genius mixed with madness, a force of nature on screen. Luis Rodriguez-Burn, circa 1935, estimated. Death date unknown, in 1965, approximately 30 years old. Role: Manuel, a member of El Indio's gang. Career: Spanish supporting actor, frequently cast as a Mexican bandit or outlaw in Italian westerns. Behind the scenes, small but important role that helped build the terrifying aura of El Indio's gang. Legacy: limited information survives, but he remains part of the essential texture of Leone's violent universe. Enzo Robaldo, 1915, died early 2000s, in 1965, approximately 50 years old. Role: Tommaso, the traitor inside El Indio's gang. Career: regular supporting actor in Leone's films and other spaghetti westerns. Behind the scenes, his betrayal adds internal tension to the gang. Legacy: one of the many familiar faces that gave Leone's world its lived-in authenticity. Aldo Sambrelburn, February 23, 1931, died July 10, 2010, in 1965, 34 years. Old role, Cuquillo, a savage member of El Indio's gang. Major awards. No major awards, but considered one of the most recognizable faces of the spaghetti western. Career, appeared in more than 150 films, almost always as a villain, frequent collaborator with Leone and Sergio Corbucci. Behind the scenes, Sambrel's brutal, scarred face became the archetype of the spaghetti western henchman. Legacy, died in 2010. Sambrel remains one of the most instantly recognizable bad guys of the genre. Roberto Camardil, November 29, 1917, died December 30, 1989, in 1965, 48 years. Old role, Tucumcari Station, clerk as Roberto Camardil, the nervous railroad worker who witnesses El Indio's gang massacre the station. Career, Spanish character actor with dozens of spaghetti westerns and horror films in the 1960s-70s. Behind the scenes, Camardil's terrified, sweating clerk is one of the most memorable early victims in the film. His performance sets the tone for El Indio's ruthless cruelty right from the opening sequence. Leone deliberately chose actors with expressive faces for these small but pivotal moments. Legacy 2026, died at 72. Camardil remains a beloved figure in Spanish cult cinema, especially among spaghetti western enthusiasts. Joseph Egerburn, March 23, 1885, died August 17, 1966, in 1965, 80 years. Old role, Old Prophet as Joseph Egger, the ancient, mumbling townsman who foretells doom with cryptic warnings. Career, Austrian theater veteran who appeared in several early spaghetti westerns, often as elderly, eccentric characters. Behind the scenes at 80. Egger was the oldest actor on set. Leone loved his weathered face and almost mystical presence. His short but unforgettable scene adds an eerie, prophetic atmosphere to the border town. Legacy, died the year after the film's release. Egger's ancient, ghostly look has become one of the most recognizable supporting faces of the early spaghetti era. Tomás Blanco, January 26, 1897, died July 16, 1990, in 1965, 68 years old. Role, Tucumcari Sheriff as Tomás Blanco, the overwhelmed lawman who tries to stop El Indio's gang and dies in the attempt. Career, veteran Spanish actor with a long career in theater and cinema, frequently cast in authority roles. Behind the scenes, Blanco's sheriff is one of the first victims of the film's violence. His futile stand against the gang underscoring the lawlessness of the frontier. Legacy, passed away in the early 1990s. Blanco is remembered as a dependable character actor of the golden age of Spanish cinema. Lorenzo Maggio, July 2, 1909, died 1992, in 1965, 56 years old. Role, carpenter in El Indio's cell, the prisoner forced to build the gallows for his own execution. Career, prolific Italian character actor, often in comedy and western supporting roles. Behind the scenes, Maggio's terrified carpenter is one of the most tragic and memorable minor characters. His silent suffering during the hanging preparation is chilling. Legacy, died in 1992. Maggio remains one of the unsung heroes of Italian genre cinema. Sergio Mendes, 1916, died 2005, in 1965, 49 years old. Role, Tucumcari bank manager as Sergio Mendes, the terrified official who hands over the money during the robbery. Career, Spanish character actor specializing in nervous, authoritative figures. Behind the scenes, Mendizable's panicked reaction during the bank robbery helps build the tension and terror of El Indio's gang. Legacy, died in 1995, a quiet but reliable contributor to the visual language of 1960s European westerns. So our long ride across the merciless frontier of For a Few Dollars More comes to an end. A film that didn't just tell a story of bounty hunters and bandits, but forever changed the face of the western. This is the movie where Clint Eastwood became a living myth, where Lee Van Cleef became the most dangerous gentleman in cinema history, where Gian Maria Volonté gave us one of the most unforgettable villains ever created, and where even the smallest roles, the hunchback, the telegraphist, the terrified carpenter, were etched with unforgettable intensity. More than 60 years after its release in 1965, the ticking of El Indio's pocket watch, the whistle in the wind, the cold stare of Manco and Mortimer, they still echo across the desert. Thank you for riding with me through this journey into the heart of the spaghetti western. If a face, a duel, or a single note of Morricone's music moved you today, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives into the wild, lawless world of classic cinema. Until next time, in another border town, under another merciless sun. And remember, in the world of Sergio Leone, the clock is always ticking, and the bullet is always waiting.